Hey guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today we're headed out for some late winter bass fishing. It's actually afternoon. I had some plans this morning. I couldn't get out of them. So we've got about 2.5, 3 hours before dark. We're gonna try and get a reaction bite. We've got A-rigs, crankbaits, little underspins. We're going to stick close to the ramp, maximize our time, and see if we can't catch some bass. There are basically 3 patterns we're going to run in a very short amount of time. The 3 things I've identified that have fish on them right now, one is these steep walls. It's rock, drops to deep water quickly and then levels off. Those fish tend to sit right down at the bottom at that transition. So that's 1. 2, it's fishing around bait fish up on flats. And then 3 is fishing really shallow along the edges of current, up on shallow flats. Those are those fish that they're not pre-spawned by any means, but they're almost acting like it. They're a little bit ahead of schedule. So all 3 are available pretty close to where we're at right now. So we're gonna run around a little bit and see if we can get them. There we go. He smoked it. First fish. We will take it. He ate that same thing I was telling you guys the other day. He ate that 13 bait that is on the side, not that Kitech. I'm gonna take that Kitech off because that has happened quite a few times now. I'm gonna put another one of those on. We'll see what happens. Oh, I just got smashed. Absolutely smashed. I don't know how that didn't hook up. Wow, he freight trained that. Oh, I got a scale. Look at that. Right on the hook point of that bait I just changed. He smoked it. Little guy, but I'll take him. We definitely have a pattern. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Sure beats not coming out for a couple hours. This is awesome. Oh, there we go. Very next cast. Oh man, that's fun. I mean, guys, this is winter fishing. It's supposed to be cold and miserable and no fun. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Look how fat that bass is. Oh my gosh, that fish is like 15 inches long maybe, and is, I mean, I'm talking 4 pounds. That's ridiculous. What a chunker. Thanks, man. Oh, missed him. So I've transitioned now. We've ended that bluff wall. And now I'm just up on a big flat. So we're in 12 feet of water, flat bottom, but there's bait fish, crappie, bluegill, yellow bass, white bass. There's all sorts of stuff just roaming all over this flat. And I'm just fan casting around it. I've got the 360 on. It's sort of showing me the general whereabouts of bait fish. But I'm just fan casting, letting it go to bottom, popping it up and slow rolling with occasional twitches. We got one bite. Maybe we'll get another one. If not, I'm going to turn around, pull out a couple more baits, go right back through where we just got those bites, see if we can capitalize and get some more fish out of it. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not, but we're always talking about how we run map cards, and we link them in the video description along with our units so that we have reliable mapping. So I'm sitting right on the edge of a creek channel right here. Now I had this stump waypointed already, but look at the stump. Now that the water's down, can you guys see the metal? That is the blades of somebody's prop broken off in that stump. Somebody hit that stump and all three blades of the prop hit it and got ripped off completely. And we are right on the edge of a creek channel. That's the stuff that can happen if you're not prepared. So by the way, we've transitioned. I'm out on that really shallow stuff now. There's current running by. I have not been bit yet, but I'm going to try a little bit longer before we call it a night. This is a funny time of year. When it transitions like this, I mean, we're still in the middle of winter, right? But we're getting to the end of the winter where the fish, they just start behaving differently. They don't behave like it's the true middle of winter. They behave like there's an end in sight, like there's hope. So all of a sudden you've got these different patterns, fish that are going in different directions, fish that are deep, fish that are moving up shallow to feed, fish that are somewhere in between, fish that are following bait. So you really have to decide a direction. Do you chase them all? Do you take one? And I think the best way to decide is if you're on a fishery and you know the fishery, so you can pattern, just take one. Like we just caught fish on that steep wall. If we had all day, we'd run steep wall after steep wall after steep wall after steep wall and put fish in the boat. Because we have limited time, I'm running some different patterns. So if you're on a lake and you don't know the fishery, you catch them on a spot, but you don't know how to adapt where to go next, don't worry about it. Try those different patterns. I'll tell you what, we'll do a follow-up video and we'll get into like late winter baits because it really does start to transition. It's winter. There are days where you need a 2.8 Kitech and a jig, but there's days where you can get away with a square bill and a lipless and an A-rig and a swim bait. You know, that stuff happens all of a sudden, and a lot of people miss that transition. So we'll see if we can catch another fish before we wrap it up, but I just wanted to add that to the mix. There's one. Oh, he came off. Darn it. Fouled me up too. Oh, that's all right. That was on the blade bait. Out here on that shallow flat, I got right on the edge, right where it breaks. We got one to eat. I got two big head shakes at him before he came off. Yeah, we catch a lot of yellow bass, a lot of white bass and stuff on the blade also. Everything likes to eat a blade bait. But you can feel those largemouth instantly because they do that shake. They try and get it out. The other fish don't do that at all. just a little bit of bait, a couple of fish on them right back there. I'm gonna hop that blade. It's about 22 foot deep. Our last bite was in about 3 foot. This is that weird time of year. Those fish can be starting to scatter. Some of them think it's still winter. Some of them kind of wish it was springtime. Those storms will come in, immediately knock them back down. But you get a warm day, sunny day, or you get a warm storm like what we have right now. It's cold, but it's not as cold as it's been. It's not snowing. It's a southern storm, so it's probably in the, I don't know, low 40s, something like that, as opposed to the 20s, which is what it's been when the storms roll through. So these fish are a little bit fooled. They start scattering. They start getting ahead of themselves. Well, I was hoping one of those fish would slip up. No luck. Whoa. That was a weird eat, but I'll take it. Thanks, buddy. That whole rig just paused, was all it did. Awesome. Well, I moved to a new area. We had just a little bit of light left, and we were able to repeat. It's a solid pattern. I'd really like to catch them on some other things. I mean, I had a bunch of rods in the boat. If we had a full day, we'd run around. I mean, I'd drop this pattern right here and go do some shallow stuff, try and catch them some different ways, but just can't complain about it. I mean, here we are. It's cold, it's late in the day, it's winter, and they're eating. No complaints. Now guys, if you didn't catch the A-rig video we did last week, I'll link that down in the video description for you, because we talked all about how to dial in your A-rigs, how to use flexible rigs. Not just this one, there are a couple different flexible options. A flexible rig that when you pump it, that thing will really move and you get way more bites this time of year. I mean, it's a vast difference, way more bites. I'll link all that in the description, the gear I'm using, all that stuff. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk soon.